them. And then in that case, the incident manager would be given specific expectations on what the end state will look like. So we'll know from the time they get started to the time that they bring things back to a sense of normal operations, what the end state is. So we define that at the very beginning, so we'll know how to tell once the incident is mitigated or resolved that we've completed our job with that. Given that sometimes there are multiple incidents, sometimes an incident manager may be managing one incident and monitoring the epidemiology or surveillance information from another. But once that other secondary incident rises to a certain level, it may be necessary to have another incident manager or a deputy assume responsibility for assisting and managing that event. So there are a number of different ways this can be handled. There's no one right answer, but what we're looking for is the best optimized solution that, but right size to have the right level of organizational structure and support available to get the response under control and back to a sense of normalcy. Over to you, Emily.
Great, thank you for that answer, Chuck, and thank you to all of our panelists and presenters for today's session. I think Yusuf has one quick comment, and then we may have to wrap up. But over to you, Yusuf.
Sorry, I've seen this comment, this question. I think it's important to address it. It's about the difference between the IMS manager and the liaison officer. So somebody was asking about that. These are two different things. The IMS manager is in charge of the overall response within the IMS frame, and the liaison officer is in charge of whatever is in charge of the communications and the coordination with the partners. And the liaison officer is under the IMS manager. He or she is reporting to the IMS manager. Over. Thanks.
Great, thank you for that clarification. Really helpful. So I think please go ahead.
To just make it a bit clear, by going through some of the questions, I think some are a little confused in terms of the communication, the role of the public communication officer and the internal communication. The public officer, public of communicating with the public. This is an external communication, but today we're talking about internal communication to enable communication, information smoothly flow within the incident management system and within the overall response system at all levels of the response operation. Over to you.
Great, thank you for that very helpful clarification. I think that'll benefit a lot of the participants and the questions that we've seen in the chat and the Q&A. Any other last comments from any of our panelists or presenters before we close today? And I want to thank everyone for their participation and time. Okay, great. So thank you again to everyone who has submitted questions, participated in Menti. We hope it gives you a lot of opportunities to share your thoughts and your expertise and ask questions in this community of practice and with your colleagues. Once again, if we were not able to address your question today, we hope you'll join us for future sessions as we hope to do more of these interactive sessions in the next series, as well as in future series and sessions. So thank you all for your questions. Just as a heads up for next week, we will start a new mini series on logistics. So we look forward to everyone joining us again for next week to kick off this new series. We also really highly encourage you to submit feedback on these sessions, as that really does help us shape the direction that these sessions will take and ensure that they are interactive to all. There was a link to Discord put in the chat box. In this platform, you will find those stored materials from previous sessions, along with the quiz for completion at the end of the series. The series comes with certificates for those who are consistent in attendance and do pass 90% of the quiz questions. Once again, thank you to our speakers and our panelists, and thank you to everyone for your participation in the Q&A and through our interactive platforms. It was a pleasure to hear everyone's comments and questions, and we look forward to everyone joining us next week for the logistics series. We hope everyone has a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. And thank you, and we look forward to seeing everyone next time. So hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thanks.
Thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.